Welcome back to the Pesky Report, episode 501, presented by Beyond the Monster. I'm Jordan, joined by Jack and Brian. Best feeling post series of the post All-Star break for sure. Red Sox just finished wrapping up a 3-game set with the Los Angeles Dodgers, in which they took 2 out of 3. I'll give it to the room here. How are we feeling after this 3-game set? Is this kind of like a faith has been restored in this organization, or are we still kind of in the they're still under 500 since the All-Star break camp? I'll let you lead off here, Jack. How are you feeling after this series?
We're back with a little tiny asterisk that says we didn't have to face Ohtani, Glasnow, or Yamamoto. It's like, well, so got the easiest possible way to be back. But hey, it worked. You took 2 out of 3 against the team that's, the odds-on favorite to win the World Series. So I appreciate them not pissing it away and struggling. So I'm content. We'll see what happens from here.
Yeah, I mean, given the pitching matchups they had to deal with the first 2 series, it's nice to see somebody else's 4, 5, 6 or 3, 4, 5 in the rotation. Brian, how do you feel about this team right now?
I think I feel better than I did. It was kind of like when they win 1 of 3, you're like, well, okay, they're playing good teams, so you saw the 2 of the series, and this series is like, I think as I went Friday, and I'm like, all right, they're in this, and the place was sold out. It was electric, everyone was real excited. And then they won the next 2 games, which is nice. I know you're there today, so you can tell us what it was like at the game today. But it looked like the game I had, everyone had a blast. The other 2 games looked like everyone was really into it. And it's nice to take 2 out of 3 from the defending world champions.
What was the crowd like on Friday? Because it was pretty Dodger centric last night, based on how it sounded.
There was a bunch of guys,
TV and radio.
There was a bunch of season ticket holders that I know that go to all the games, and they're into the Red Sox. But then I saw at least 2 or 3 people that I recognize that had Dodger gear on from head to toe. And I'm like, come on, man, really? But like, these are the guys where like, they're at every game I go to. So they go to at least 20 or 30 games a year. And then they sometimes it's their wife, or they bring like their daughter who's on their iPhone the whole time and doesn't want to be there, but like their dad's dragging them to the game. And I'm like, all right, like you like baseball, but like, what's up here, And then I was like, yeah, all right, Dodger fan, there was like at least 2 or 3 people that I saw like just covered in Dodgers gear. And you can always tell when the visiting team has a lot of people in the area, because they go to like the most overpriced, ridiculous restaurants like Eventide lobster rolls, or they're at that No Cisco brewery, which is like banged out right now, or like you go to like the Yard House and it's like a 2-hour wait at 4:00, or like where I can park for free normally, like this corporate people parking that like I'm like, hey, you only go to like the big games. Fridays is always a lot of people anyway, but there was 36,000 people there Friday. I don't know what the crowds are like on Saturday and Sunday, but that's a lot of people.
According to ESPN, which who knows, Saturday was the highest paid attendance. Today was the shortest, or smallest amount, 35,465 paid attendance. Sunday, 36,369 on Friday, 36,687 on Saturday. So definitely a packed house.
Yep.
I would say probably today didn't really feel like the 35,000 was there. Probably the weather. A lot of people saw that Ohtani ducked the series as a pitcher and decided they didn't want to watch Sunday. They saw Walker Buehler was pitching for the Red Sox. They're like, I don't want to go watch a loss. But the joke's on you guys, because Walker Buehler was just okay enough to not lose.
Was there vendors here today or no? There's still no vendors?
No, still no people
We
to
saw two
watch
kids
this.
on Friday selling stuff just for like in the first inning. I saw one kid sell. I think it was like not even hot dogs. It was something like Italian ice or something. And then I didn't see anybody the rest of the game. I didn't go down to look at to buy stuff, but I saw two. Well, they had Aramark stuff on, but they must have been people that weren't with Aramark, I guess. But I didn't see any of the regulars. I didn't see anybody. I saw the picketers out on the gate, on the right field gate, with the buckets, but I didn't see anybody actually in the stands. So I don't know if they tried to get people, it didn't work out, or what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure. There wasn't anybody in my section that was, as far as vendors go. The concession lines were pretty packed.
There was okay, all right,
Whenever I was down in the concourse,
yeah,
which
yeah,
admittedly only pregame, and then I don't remember what inning it was, but it was in the middle innings I went down.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah. Once I'm in the seat, I stay there. Yeah.
yeah, I try as like hell to stay as glued to my seat as possible. And when Walker Buehler's pitching, you don't know what you might miss if if you leave for a sec. You might miss 3 walks, you might miss a home run, you might miss the rare 1, 2, 3 inning, which
They,
was
they,
kind of like everything for
they
Buehler
have the
today.
TVs. They have the TVs where the vendor where the concessions are underneath. They really got to get next level and have the TVs in the bathrooms too, because then you wouldn't miss a thing. I don't know why no one's ever thought of that, but I don't know.
Another expense for John Henry. He doesn't wanna get into that.
I hear you. I hear you.
But yeah, I mean, we could start going, kind of game by game here.
Sure.
Obviously, another series where it was relatively quiet as far as the offense is concerned, but at the same time, like they're not. I mean, they scored 9 runs a game for like 8 or 9 games in a row. So, sorry, I'm an idiot. I took a bite of my food, and I'm trying not to be a pig about it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you face good pitching as far as like stuff is concerned. Like you run into Kershaw, who at this point in his career is kind of washed, but like good enough to not be terrible every time out. And game 1 was really the one letdown, and you had opportunities to score throughout the game. You brought the tying run up to the plate in the 9th against Ben Kasparius and did nothing with it. But, yeah, I mean, back to 7 games above 500. And before this gauntlet stretch, I said you need to be 1 game within 500, throughout this 9-game stretch. So no worse than 4-5. In typical Red Sox fashion, they decided they wanted to lose the first one to make it super interesting. But they win the last 2, so they are 4-5 over this gauntlet stretch, and they get a little break in the schedule coming up here with Minnesota, which is nice. But I didn't watch Bello at all in game 1. I was not able to watch the first 5 or so innings of the game. Jack, how did Bello look as far as his performance in game 1?
He was fine. It wasn't his best start of the year. It was not his worst start of the year either. I think the big thing that I saw, especially on the positive side, like the command was generally good against righties. Like he was locating with the sinker sweeper, and that was good. It was against lefties. He was kind of falling into the I'm gonna pitch around people a little, and I'm not gonna attack in 2 strike counts that sometimes Bello likes to do. And it's like, bro, just go at him. Especially, I forget who it was. There was someone in that game who isn't a particularly good hitter on the Dodgers that he just like completely avoided. And it was like, bro, just throw him a strike. It might have been Conforto. I don't entirely remember. It was like, bro, just go at him. He's hitting like 170.
It was probably Conforto, who had a fantastic game 3, by the way.
Yeah, he did. But, he's certainly pitching better than what he did last year and to start the season. But, he's also kind of reverting back to the peak version we kind of saw mid-season. Like, that's also not what we're getting. It's kind of the truth is probably somewhere between the two. But, for a middle of the rotation guy, that's okay.
Yeah, from the sound of it, it sounded like he was kind of, exactly how you described it. Bello is super frustrating to me to a degree because it's like I don't think he realizes how talented he is. Like similar to Erod in the sense that it's like you have good stuff, but he pitches like he sucks sometimes. And I think like against a lineup like the Dodgers, which admittedly is not like super deep this year. I mean, again, Conforto was hitting 6th today, I think. And like, after Pages, that lineup was kind of terrible. I mean, granted, Will Smith wasn't starting, but like you take Will Smith out of the lineup for Dalton Rushing after the 4 spot in the lineup. That's a horrible lineup. But Bello really dances around guys, and when like I don't know if he's just not afraid of certain teams like the Yankees because he always seems to pitch like Pedro, like he's baby Pedro against the Yankees every time out. But he faced a team like the Dodgers, and I don't know if he gets scared. I mean, he still gave you 5 in the third, 3 earned, gave you a really good chance to win the game, and Jorge Alcala gave up a 2-run bomb in the 8th. But why were people giving me shit about like commenting that Jorge Alcala was good? I don't get it.
Because you're not allowed to give up a home run if you're good.
Right.
I knew that was
Did you
coming
not get
too.
that memo, Jordan?
I'm like some jerk. I didn't think it was going to be like make your own independent tweet and tag me in it, but I thought somebody was going to like reply to my Alcala is king tweet, which was clearly a joke because he had his arms up in the air, and that's what all those is king accounts make it out of. But I thought it was going to be on that, and someone's like, "You still like Alcala?" I'm like, "Sorry, he gave up a home run to Teoscar Hernandez." Like, should I have responded back to that guy last night and said, "You still like Crochet?" Because he gave up 2 bombs in the first. Like, yeah, I mean, his ERA is still under 2 since coming to Boston. I think he's okay. Made 1 bad pitch. It happens.
He's all right.
And you lost by 3. His home run was kind of inconsequential at that point. But yeah, Sox lose game 1-5-2. Brian, any thoughts on Bello or the offense or anything?
Something that I know you said you didn't watch much of the game, Jack. What was the reaction at home with Connor Wong? Because it like when we're in the stands, he hit a bomb of a shot, and then the other 2 outs were loud outs. And like by the 3rd time he got up, I think he flew out to like the warning track or something. We're like, he's gonna hit a home run. Like he figured it out. All of it, like everybody was like, oh my God, like Connor Wong can hit now. This is like, at first we're like, okay, well, I think that the podcast, Jordan, you did during the week where I guess Bello was talking shit about Wong, I guess at one point, and now he's like his personal catcher or something.
Yeah, in the Netflix doc, he basically was like, I fucking hate Connor Wong. Like he didn't say, obviously he didn't say that, but he's like, every pitch, 2-seam in, 2-seam in, 2-seam in. What about a slider? What about a changeup? And everything's a 2-seam. And then Rob Refsnyder being like, please trade Connor Wong was a pretty funny part of the talk.
I listened to that podcast like 2 hours before I went to the game, and that was like fresh in my head. And then I'm like, wow, look at Connor Wong. He can hit now. All right. Like maybe he was listening to the same podcast. I was like, well, fuck these guys. I'm going to hit bombs today. And I know he only got 1 hit, but like it almost looked like he gave a shit. Like, all right, like I'm going to hit the ball hard. Like I'm going to try and do something instead of just be Connor Wong, So that was kind of cool. But I was just wondering when you saw him up, were you like surprised that he was hitting the ball like at all? Like, whoa, wait a minute. Or was it like, well, whatever. Like, or was like Connor Wong's up, so you went to take a piss, so you didn't even notice.
Yeah, I mean, like when he got that double, I'm like, oh, okay, we got the extra base hit out of the way. We did it. It's a good thing there was nobody on base for that. It wouldn't have happened.
Right.
But I mean, if he'd like to not be the worst offensive player in the history of baseball, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't have much confidence that's going to change at this point, but why not?
I think the other thing too, Jordan, that I want to talk, I don't know if you noticed it today, but because it's the Dodgers, it's like people going to see like the Lakers in town. There was a lot of fans there that were just there because they had money and they could afford it. They weren't really baseball fans. And people were like, oh, who's this Rafaela guy who plays second base? Like, so I heard 2 people say that, like in my section, which I mean, usually like that happens like in box seats or like club seats where you get people who obviously like haven't been to a Red Sox game since like maybe 2021 playoffs. And they're like, oh, the Dodgers are in town. They're like the hot thing right now. Or who's this Ohtani guy? Why isn't he pitching? Like, they ask, don't get me wrong. I mean, they know what a baseball is. They know there's bases. They know there's like, fans in the stands, but they're very limited knowledge. But like, it was just a lot of dumb questions. And that's usually a good barometer that like these guys, somebody probably in my section paid at least $500 a ticket to sit like near me, which is always hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, so I was sitting up with Jesus Christ at like the top of the bleachers.
As you
So
should, as you should. Yeah.
yeah, that was the only way to get in for under 200 basically
Right.
for
Yeah.
today. But yeah, I mean, the Dodgers are like, I mean, it's very corporate slash
Yeah.
celebrity. Like it's just something about LA. I wonder. I haven't been to a Sox Angels game in quite a while. I doubt it's the same, but like, there's just something about LA, California teams, even to a degree sometimes. Well, maybe not Yankees games because everyone hates the Yankees.
Right.
So, and then obviously Yankees fans show up because they like to, stir the pot a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, there was a woman sitting next to me today who was wearing Red Sox gear but was cheering for the Dodgers. I'm like, ma'am, are you lost? Like, I don't. I didn't say anything to her, but I'm like, you are like, I did a double take. I'm like, is that just a green like Dodgers hat? And I just didn't compute that at first. I'm like, no, that is a full-fledged like St. Patty's Day Red Sox hat. She's wearing a Red Sox shirt. She was so hyped up for like everything the Dodgers did. But then she also got hyped up when Bregman homered. I'm like, again, fair enough. You're just there to enjoy yourself if you're not like really super into baseball. And I don't want to like pretend like she wasn't, but like,
Right.
I don't know, you're there in Sox gear. It just felt kind of weird. It's one thing for Mookie because like I cheered when Mookie came up to bat. Whatever, I will never hate Mookie Betts.
Mhm.
But like Michael Conforto comes up and she's like, "Woo!" I'm like, "What?"
So,
Like, you're
so
the
what,
reason
what
he's
you're
4 for
saying is
5 today.
when you reached into your bag for your sleeve of Fireball, she already hit 8 of them, and there was only 2 left.
Yeah, pretty much. I did not drink at all. I did not drink at all today. But I needed to get home. I was already late enough getting home today. I didn't need to
I hear you.
throw
She
alcohol
should
at
have
me.
had, instead of being in full Sox gear, she should have gone for like the Rob Lowe NFL hat. Like
That-
bring like an MLB hat and be a fan of the game.
Oh, how about the people that wear like a different team that isn't even playing? So, like I
I've done
see that
that.
all the time. Like I
I
saw a
did
guy
too.
dress up like he had a Harold Baines White Sox jersey,
That's kind
and
of
I'm like,
baller.
what is going on here? Like this is just completely like, okay, that's fine. You're right.
I saw a guy in an Austin Riley jersey at the Sox Rockies game we were all at. And I'm like, why is he in a Braves Austin Riley? Like, how? Why?
Yeah, I don't get. Or I see the girls that are in like the kids small jerseys, but they're like eucalypt jerseys because that's like the last time they went to a game, and now they're like, hey, I'm gonna go to a game, and like they still found it somewhere or stole it from their brother, or they probably bought it like in Brighton or Allston at like the Goodwill store. I don't know.
For like $7. I mean, hey,
Basically, yeah.
I saw Gabe Kapler's jersey today.
Okay, with the sleeves cut for the muscles.
No, but that would have been so great if it was. No, I love seeing those like random ass. There's also like a small child wearing a Josh Beckett jersey. I'm like, he was retired when you were born, but like sick. That rocks. I love it. It makes me feel a little bit less insecure when I show up in my Garrett Richards jersey from time to time. That's not what I've been wearing because I'm on a winning streak with the David Ortiz final season jersey. But
Okay, yeah.
yeah, it's some of the jerseys are crazy. Also, we've ended up at like the same game like 3 or 4 times this season, all 3 of us, and we have not met up at all. So I still have no idea what either of you guys look like in person. So
I just want to say, unlike some people, I actually sit in section 11, and I'm on a podcast. I don't sit somewhere else in the park like some other guests maybe did this week, not in section 10, not to throw any shade anybody. But no, anytime you guys want to come by to section 11, there's plenty of room. But I think what we're going to do is next year, I think we're going to take a look at 81 games, and we're going to break it up with a couple different hosts, at least the ones that live in the state of Massachusetts, and try and make it look amicable for you. I mean, they're not free, but you're not going to be, Jordan's not going to have to, do, questionable things on the internet to go to games last minute. We don't need that.
I did say I opened the wrong website before we started here,
Yeah.
and I promise you it was nothing like that. But these guys did give me shit.
The tickets that I sat in on Friday, they were probably the most expensive all year, but they were still 165 face value, which I mean, that's not bad. But then you go see the Reds like in April, and it's like $40 because of the tiered pricing. It's crazy.
I love like that's where I make my hay, and that's probably like I was very much like the Red Sox on their 10-game winning streak. Like I was going to games for some shitters, man. I'm like, I need a dub. Like it's kind of like making a layup when you're playing when you're like shooting hoops in your backyard and you brick like 5 step back threes in a row. You're like, I gotta just make a layup. Like that was me going to a Rockies game a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah,
The same one that both of us were at. I think it's kind of funny how too like we don't talk about the games we go to. Like we've just happened to be at the same game like 3 or 4 times. It's great. It is great. But yeah, shout out Connor Wong. I did in a roundabout way. Yeah, seriously. Not playing. Oh, he did play the game Brian was at on Friday, but
1 for 3. 1 for 3.
Yeah, it was. I mean, Connor Wong's like not a bad dude, but from any like
you know
that
what,
we know of,
complete asshole because like with the amount of hate he probably gets on a daily basis, but he lets it slide off his back, and I think it's kind of, it must be so difficult for it because what was it a year or two ago? He was probably a pretty good hitting catcher. I mean the first half of
last year he was really
first
good.
half of last year he was like pretty on point, and then it disappeared, and now we have the new captain of the Red Sox as our catcher. So I mean nobody even talks about Wong anymore.
Yeah, but like that's got to change, right? Like, I mean, I don't think they're going to get another backup catcher at the deadline. Just feels like a waste of time, to be honest. Like they tried that last year. They got Danny Jansen, and I mean, maybe they decide to dip into that well again. Not with Danny Jansen specifically, although the Rays are selling, so that would be very funny if they were like Yandy Diaz and Danny Jansen, come on down. It'd be even funnier if they only traded for Danny Jansen.
They better get Diaz if they make a trade.
But like something's got to give at some point. Not that Narvaez has been bad. I mean, his offense has dipped a bit. I just don't think he's like really that great of a hitter. Like I think he kind of just has that Fenway swing.
The bar is so low though, Jordan. I mean, like when Connor Wong stats. I mean, it's like if you show up, I mean, you could be the corpse of Jason Varitek right now, probably still do better than Connor Wong.
Yeah, Connor Wong's slugging percentage now is finally higher than his batting average, but it's still 161. So that's pretty ass. Still, but no, I'm happy for Connor Wong. I would love to find a way to get him on the Pesky Report. We tried to get Carabas to talk to him. I don't know if he actually did. I think it sounded like he took a detour and went and talked to John Henry instead. Which fair enough. I'd probably also.
I love that story that he talked about where they tried to talk to Winkowski and he was a scheduled off day and he said he was busy. And I was
like, he kind of is
like
a loser, isn't he?
Move. Like I love that. Like he's just like, no, I don't like you. And then what did he say? He tried to get his like media credentials like thrown out. I didn't realize that all happened, but that's crazy.
Yeah, I never really understood the lore. Like I didn't hear. I mean, I knew that there was like beef, but I don't think I ever actually heard why he hates Winkowski so much. I can see why.
Well, yeah, I'm trying to do my job and you won't let me do it. Yeah, like that's kind of a big reason. And I think that the big thing is when you're ripping beers on the World Series duck boat, like I'm not saying you're too close to the team, but like that's like awesome, and like he's actually friends with the guys on the team. And then with the turnover they had, like I know things change, but then when you get guys like Winkowski, you're like, oh, wait a minute, trying to get their credential. That would turn me off too from like wanting to hang out and like talk to those guys, because like if someone's trying to do that and he's got other shit to do. There's 29 other major league teams now, so
yeah, and not to like completely like rehash stuff that we talked about in our previous episode, which by the way, if you have not watched our 500th episode, it is 3 hours long. I get it.
Yeah.
But we get to the
very good.
It is very good. And I thought I told Jared we were going to be on for about an hour. He stayed for an hour and a half, which I thought was pretty sick. But we get to the interview right away. Like I made sure to put it right in the beginning, so the people that were there for the Carabas interview got it quickly. But yeah, we talked about a bunch of stuff, which was sick. But like he works his ass off to get himself in that position. Like similar. I mean, it's different because Jared's media and Wink is a major league adjacent.
Guess we're not getting him on the podcast soon.
Well, he hates people that he hates people.
He's just a people hater.
It's people and Wrigley Field.
It's people Wrigley Field, gives up 6 runs to the Yankees, doesn't think their lineup's all that good. Like, what's that say about you, my guy? It's funny because 2022 Winkowski, I thought was hilarious. Like he was just so mid, and he's like a dick about everything. I'm like, that's sick. And then now he's just a dick who also is just bad. Like so, that's tough. But yeah, we'd love to find a way to get Connor Wong on the pod here because, like Jared said, he knows he sucks, right? Like,
Yeah.
but it'd probably be cool to like talk baseball and not be like, "Yo, why are you hitting 151 in as we head to August?" Like,
Right.
but there's some intricacies to that situation that I would love his feedback on. I mean, like last year, he hit like shit, but got super lucky. This year, he's hit like shit, but also not gotten lucky at all. So it was like last year for this quality of contact was like 90th percentile outcome, 95th percentile outcome. This year, it's like 5th percentile. Like it's been so fucking bad. I feel horrible for him because like I don't know. I mean, even early in the season, he was like driving the ball with authority. Like especially in Texas, he had like a bunch of deep flyouts.
Right.
Then, and all of them were flyouts. And I think he got hit in his like first at bat of the year, and then didn't for like 30 at bats because that's 2025 Connor Wong. So nice to see him break out of the slump with the extra base hit. I hope he plays more. Like I really do. I want him to play more. As much as this sounds like a bit, like I don't want Narvaez to play 95% of the games down the stretch. Connor needs to at least take like 15 to 20% of the games. He can't. I mean, I guess if he's Bayo's catcher, he is getting 20% of the games, but
yeah. But they don't have anybody like on the 40 man that like in September they can bring up, right? To like just like
Ronaldo Hernandez isn't even on the 40. Sebi Zavala sucks. I will never entertain that possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even draft a catcher.
I was surprised they didn't draft the catcher. I thought like I was looking at catchers, you know, like right before the draft, I was like that Irish guy and whoever there was some other guy who was decent. I'm like
Stevenson, the guy from UNC.
Yeah. I'm like, just take one of those guys. I mean, even if it does, I mean, just like pretend you care about catching instead of like, oh, we'll figure it out. We'll get another, you know, guy from some team that nobody wants. You know, that's the Red Sox. We do that. You know,
welcome back, Christian Vasquez.
Yeah, you could, yeah. But yeah, they're gonna need somebody because it's just kind of I don't know. I mean, what if Narvaez gets hurt? I mean, they're fucked. They're so fucked.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that possibility, but like that's also part of it too. Like I know that catchers used to be Iron Men that play like 150 plus games a year. But they also were having like double hip replacements at like 34. So I'd like to keep Narvaez, you know, in relatively good shape. Like I mean, I think Wong needs to at least start getting like 2 of these, like instead of once or 2 games every 10, like at least take 3 or sometimes even 4. Like I wouldn't give him to Crochet. Like Crochet deserves the absolute best possible lineup or in front and behind him. But like you're telling me Carlos Narvaez needs to be catching Walker Buehler. Like why punish him? You know?
Just have him catch Bayo start. That's enough. You know, 1 out of every 5 days. That's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he can provide more offensively than he has, and it's like a double-edged sword because he can provide more offense. He hasn't. He's not going to play more until he starts hitting, but he's probably also not going to start hitting until he starts playing more. Like David Hamilton, like the week that he started playing after they traded Devers, had like a home run and a bunch of hits and some stolen bases. And then he also went back to being David Hamilton. But like Hamilton. It's tough to play when you get 4 at bats a week.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And God forbid he gets a hit with runners in scoring position. I might become feral on I'll buy a jersey if he does it in this Twin series.
Yeah, I wonder what the odds are every time he's up that he's going to drive in an RBI. Like just minus 800, minus 1,000, minus 10,000, minus like every time. You know, I don't know if it goes up or down every time he's up. But
yeah, he's still 0 for 30,
right?
With runners in scoring position, which is
like you can't do that on purpose.
Yeah,
I don't like if you tried to do that, they'd be like, okay, 1919 White Sox or whatever, right? I mean, like you're trying to throw this game, you know?
Yeah. And he's not striking out every single time. Like that would be like probably the biggest example of like he's doing this on purpose.
Right.
He needs 1 to drop. Just 1. He's also, I think he's still grounded into more double plays, the base is loaded, than he has RBIs. I think he's grounded into like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Which,
The bar is low.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just, as happy as I am for Wong getting his first extra base hit, like it makes him so much less interesting until he like starts performing better. But we spent a lot of time on Connor Wong.
Well, he deserves it. Maybe the hitting coach should spend some time with him. I don't know.
Yeah, we talked about him a lot during the Carabas interview as well. So like Connor Wong getting a ton of he's getting more run here on Pesky Report than he is for the Boston Red Sox at this point.
That's right. If you do the Google search for Connor Wong, the AI is going to flag this podcast in a heartbeat.
Yeah, seriously. If you're Google searching Connor Wong, 1, seek help. 2, subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right. Yeah.
Shameless plug. Follow us on Twitter at the Pesky Report.
There you go.
I always forget to do that. Bad podcast owner.
All right.
Here. Let's get into game 2 because as fun as Connor Wong hitting a double was, the Sox still lost 5-2. So not a whole lot of fun. Garrett Crochet first inning gives up 2 home runs, so sick, awesome, more of the same. About to be 2-7 since the All-Star break, 2-6 since the All-Star break. And then in typical war pig fashion, he's just like, I'm just not gonna give up any more runs. So he didn't, and that's pretty fucking cool to have. 10 Ks, just those 2 runs over 6. Thought the Dodgers really bailed him out in that 5th inning. Like, why is Teoscar Hernandez, of all people, trying to steal bases with 2 outs? Had him at like 90 pitches at the time. Figure he may have been done after 5 if you just let that at bat play out. Instead, you give him the 6th, and he's not going to he probably took that personally. Went out for the 6th and dominated. Brian, what are your thoughts on Crochet in game 2?
Well, I listened to the game on the radio, and I'm like, all right, we lost game 1. We got Crochet pitching. And I'm like, oh, fuck, come on. All right, okay, it's 1 home run. Again? Come on, And like even the radio guys were like, well, but he did get a strikeout to end the inning. I'm like, we're down 2-0 to the Dodgers. Like, you saw what happened with the Phillies. You saw what happened with the other series. Like, not again. Like, this is our guy. Like, if we're gonna win one, this is him. And did you see the post game interview where I think it was Crochet? They asked Crochet about it, and he said, I watched like the broadcast. And he's like, gee, if you listen to the post game, you would think just, that the Dodgers beat us. I just sent you the link in the group chat. I don't know if you can play the audio. It's hilarious to listen to it. It's just like, he's like, well, we won the game, so I don't give a shit. I don't care if I give 5 home runs. He's like, we won the game. Like, make sure they know that, which I thought was kind of funny. And I loved how he was like, whatever. So.
He's a dog. I love Garrett Crochet. Jack, what were your thoughts on Crochet?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he gave up the 2 home runs in the first inning, gave up a few scattered singles along the way. I don't care. It was the Dodgers, and he won, and he got 10 strikeouts, and it's nice to see him get another Fenway win because that was a thing that took him an infuriatingly long time to happen. This is just what you expect. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball at the moment, and I'm grateful he's on this team because if he wasn't, I don't think this team would be nearly even like in scratching distance of the playoffs.
Right.
I was able to download the video of Crochet's answers. I will play it now.
No, I made 2 bad pitches. Then watched them on repeat too. Fox has played them 30 times. You'd think that the Dodgers won tonight, but no real adjustment.
I love that. I love that, Jordan. I love that. He's like, fuck these guys.
He's such a dog. Like, I think sometimes we get, like, even as fans, and I know like the front office will do it too. We're like so hell bent, and maybe it's a little bit of like Heim, or like I'm like Heim pilled, and I'm like, I gotta find the value, like the hidden gem. Sometimes just make the fucking obvious move, like they did it with Crochet, they did it with Bregman, and they have both been grand slam home runs, or maybe not. Maybe Bregman hasn't been a grand slam home run because he got hurt, so we'll call it a 2-run home run for Alex Bregman, which conveniently hit in game 3. We'll get into that in a moment, but really nice bounce back performance from Garrett in game 2. And then also the offense, Jarren Duran doing something against a lefty, which he's kind of cooking lately. Like they were talking about it, like you said, Brian, on the WEI broadcast, that Alex Cora mentioned before the game that he feels like Jarren's about to get white hot. And then he immediately ripped a 2-run triple, which admittedly Andy Pages absolute hack job of a route to that ball.
They got some shitty outfielders, huh? Like him and then
But
Conforto.
Pages is like great though. Like
Right,
he's a
but like
great
I'm watching
outfielder.
these games. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, I don't know. It's like if there's some witchcraft going on here, but just like I'm like, well, how do you? Well, he just botched that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if you've watched the show, Brian, but like the way Pages like ran after that ball, Jack. I don't know if you've watched the show either, but Wizards of Waverly Place.
Yeah.
The episode where Justin is on the baseball team and they're like using magic to manipulate the baseball. And it's like taking a bunch of different, like the ball is like moving in ridiculous fucking paths and like burning holes in people's gloves, and like a home run like dies magically as it gets to the fence. Watching Pages chase after that ball, it felt like that shit was under a spell. Like he looked like a mess trying to go after that.
Did you guys see the ball today that Devers fielded at first base and then didn't know what to do with it, and then went
Yeah.
to first base and was like, "Oh, that's right, I don't know how to do this."
Yeah, it's almost like he's not a first baseman. I don't know.
Oh my god! Like, look at that! Like, oh wow, you know, I mean, if he's more of a team player, maybe he'd know what to do. He should have worked with Will Clark. Oh wait a minute.
Will Clark, definite normal human being.
Oh yeah, he's totally on the level of Will Clark. Yeah.
I still can't get over the fact he didn't even pronounce Raffy's last name correctly.
Yeah, well, you know.
Like, you know how much of a douche you have to be to call him Devers? He's been in the league for almost a decade.
Well,
Like, let's
didn't
be fucking
somebody
serious.
do that? Like was rookie year? Didn't Aaron Boone say his name wrong?
He may
Somebody
have,
said,
but like at least he was a
yeah.
rookie. Like he's an established star in the league.
I
and
think
he
it was like
still
after
called
Chapman, he
Devers.
hit the ball off of Chapman, and it's like you know what his name is after that.
Yeah, you'll never forget it at that point. And now he kind of gets to, which still is sad, but whatever. I'm over it. I promise. I'm not, but I'll try to be. Alex Bregman homering today helped. But yeah, with the Marcelo injury, more opportunities for Cedar Rafaela to play second base, which I'm sure all of us love. He said with the utmost tongue in cheekness as humanly possible. But it gives Jared more opportunities in center field, which he is better at than left, which is hilarious. I don't really know. I mean, I guess the reads off the bat are a little different because it's not like slicing at you. Like you can kind of get a better look at it.
It's an eye test thing though, right? Because statistically, everyone is worse in left field because the ball is hit 315 feet, you don't get to. So right. So if you look at analytics, everyone is statistically worse in left field and center field within reason.
Yeah. I mean, Massa, I remember there was a play Massa's rookie year that had like an 85% catch probability, and it hit like halfway up the monster. And I'm like, Massa's 5'2". Like, he's not fucking getting a ball 15 feet in the air. Like, it's just not going to happen. But yeah, like a 310 foot.
I asked you this, I think it was yesterday or today. Do you think that they'd rather have Rafaela play second, and that's why they didn't call up Grissom? Because then you have the logic again, right?
It's interesting to me. Like, I honestly, and we'll get into like the play Rafaela was in the middle of in game 3 at some point.
Yeah.
Like, people act like it's World War III that Rafaela is playing second base, and like he's the best defensive center fielder in the sport, not named PCA, maybe Denzel Clark, but I guess we'll see when the volume kind of evens out for Clark. But like, I'd rather Sadon play second base than Romy against a righty. Like, I really would. I'd rather have Jarren, Roman, and Willier and Massa in the lineup and Sadon at second base against a right-handed pitcher than Romy Gonzalez. I really would.
Right.
Like, I'm still at the point where even against righties, if you want to play Romy, I don't need to watch Abraham Toro play baseball anymore. Now, he's great at like somehow keeping his foot on the base. He's probably saved like 40 errors in his time. as a Red Sox first baseman, but Romy's good at that too. Romy's a better athlete. Romy doesn't run like he's driving a Flintstones car like Abraham Toro does. It boggles my mind watching him run. But yeah, I don't know if I think Hamilton is just the Red Sox kind of archaic way of being like lefty got hurt, have to bring lefty back. Forgetting that it's David Hamilton and
So,
there have to be the
Marcelo
same.
Meyer being out for 7 days, whatever it is, does it buy you more time to the trade deadline? Where it's like, oh, well, we'll keep Duran now. We know that we don't want to, throw a grenade in the clubhouse, and now it's a non-issue because by the time Marcelo is healthy, the trade deadline would have passed.
Yeah, I think in a sick, twisted way, the Red Sox are probably happy there was an injury that happened
Right.
so they can justify not
Exactly.
trading an outfielder.
Yep.
I don't think that they didn't want an injury to happen, but like now they have an excuse is
Right.
my point.
Yep.
Like they would much rather Marcelo be healthy and then just take more shit from the fan base for not playing for sitting an outfielder. But they can at least kind of be like, listen, Rafaela can play second base. Marcelo will be back soon enough. But like, do you really want everyday David Hamilton or even everyday Vaughn Grissom? Like, I think Grissom deserves an opportunity to play at the major league level again.
Right.
But would I rather Cedar Rafaela play second base, or would I rather give a shot to Vaughn Grissom? I'm still picking Cedar Rafaela at second base.
Yep.
Because I trust that Masataka Yoshida is going to hit more than I trust Vaughn Grissom to hit at this point. I don't know. I mean, I've given my spiel on this and really beat it to death. Jack, what do you think on that question?
It's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't at the moment, where it's like you want to get all your best players in the lineup, and this is conceivably the only way to get all your best players in the lineup. On the flip side, yeah, it is a little frustrating at points because while Jarren is a pretty good center fielder, when you get accustomed to having Rafael out there, it's easy to, when you see something fall in, be like, if Cedar was there, that wouldn't have happened. And I definitely did fall into that a couple times throughout this year, just being like, oh, it would be nice if that was Cedar because that ball probably gets caught. But I mean, it's tricky because, yeah, we don't know what Vaughn Grissom is. He's kind of just like this concept of a baseball player at this point because we haven't seen him. And unfortunately, nothing has gone right for Hamilton so far this season, which is a shame because I think he is a talented enough player, but it's just been a disaster. So for now, anyway, this is how you get all your best players in the lineup, especially with first base not completely sorted out. Maybe if they do go at a first baseman who isn't a platoon player and then Romy becomes more of a second base option, like that shifts how they approach things. But for now, anyway, I can deal with it. I don't love it because it's awkward to have an elite defensive outfielder playing second base, which is not his position. But if this is a Band-Aid and the Meyer wrist injury isn't a big deal, which I'm a little concerned that because we've gotten no updates, this could be a big deal. Like I am a little freaked out about this Meyer thing. But if it is, yeah, a 10-day, 2-week injury for Meyer, I can suck it up and deal with it.
Yeah, especially when you do face lefties, like they're going to sit one of Willier or Jarren. So Cedar will play the outfield and Romeo will play second base. And then hopefully they've addressed first base by that point, so I don't have to watch Abraham Toro hit against left-handed pitching. I'm really just done with him. I feel bad because he's a good dude. He was good for those few weeks. He hasn't homered in like it feels like 5 years.
Is Diaz your number one now after the Naylor? Now that he got moved, is Diaz your number one?
I'm still on O'Hearn.
O'Hearn, okay.
It's close for me. So
Okay.
I'm in two boats here because I think I would rather Tristan Casas flounder as a Red Sox and never amount to anything than trade him and him blossom somewhere else.
Okay.
So I'm like acquiring somebody with the mindset that he'd be playing next year for the Red Sox as well. And then Casas would reclaim the position in 27, I think, Diaz is through 27 with club options, right?
That sounds right.
So I'd probably lean O'Hearn and platoon him with Romy, but then you're still dealing with Sadon at second base until Meyer's back.
Right.
Again. It's a really tricky position because the Red Sox have the great problem of having too many good players, really, for the spots that they have. But it's a problem they still have to solve because I don't really want to go into October, which they by no means have secured. But I don't want to go into October with Sadon as the second baseman.
Right.
Like I can deal with it on July 27th. October 8th in a wild card round, Aaron Judge hits a fly ball to relatively deep center field that Jarren gets a shit jump on. I'd rather have Sadon and his ability to kind of close that gap and make the play, and has a better arm, the whole nine.
The 9-year-old playing MLB The Show would just put Yoshida at first base. And just have Duran.
I still want to see it.
And he has taken grounders. There's a video on Twitter. He's got the glove. And were you the one, Jordan? You like either he's going to be dog shit or he's going to be a savant? Is that what you said?
Who was it that said that?
Somebody
I think it was
said that.
Jack. Wasn't it
Was
you
it?
that said that? I think
Or
you
was
said
it-
that.
I-
Oh no,
yeah,
no, it was I think it was Hunter, and I was
Was it
like,
Hunter? Yeah.
I think I said, I just knowing maybe it's manifesting because I'm a Masa stan, and I will admit that I will happily, I will pretend he's perfect. I don't care. He's hitting like 210 right now. 750 in my heart. I still remember his debut of the season.
Yeah.
So, but I think he'd be great at first base for no other reason other than it's Masataka Yoshida. That's
But
really
if he's at 6'1", do we even think about it? If he's over 6 feet tall, when they just try it, it's really
yeah, without question.
Yeah, and if he hits 300, but his slugging percentage is 390, but at least he's getting on base, like it just frees up that DH spot for whatever. And Duran, he's a good hitter, but I mean, like Jack said, the balls that drop in, you're like, Rafaela wouldn't have had that one. Rafaela probably wouldn't have had that one. You're second guessing yourself. And in an October game, in a game that matters, I don't want a subpar outfielder in center field of all places at Fenway Park. When this team isn't a world beater, they're not scoring 10 runs a game when they're not playing they're playing the Rockies, the Reds, it's one thing. But if they're actually facing good pitching, like a 4-3 game, that's a big deal.
I got to be honest, and this is a take that it's kind of like I'm not soft launching it. I'm not 100% sure I believe it. I'm starting to talk myself into trading Buehler again.
I am too, and I don't like it, but I'm in the same boat, Jordan.
I'm like, well, okay. So I still think, like, as great as Sadon is in center, I still think he would be a fucking baller right fielder at Fenway Park. Also, Roman can play right field. We've seen that so far in a small sample. His arm is not as good as Buehler's, way more accurate, but not as strong. But I still think, like, at home, because you need two center fielders to play defense at Fenway Park.
Yep.
I am under no circumstance sticking Jarren Duran in right field. I will, like, you could have the same three outfielders, but at home you do Roman, Jarren, Sadon. I wouldn't do it in 2025 either. This would be an off-season thing, spring training next year, and then on the road it is Jarren, Sadon, Roman, Anthony. I think that can work, to be honest with you. Like, and maybe, like, obviously injuries happen. You got to get Ref Snyder in there. I'm just hypothetically, I don't think Rob will be here next year. I think he'll probably retire. But
you could just go completely crazy the other way, Jordan, and trade Duran and Buehler and just have Yoshida playing left field, and then you'd have probably ridiculous. You get Joe Ryan for those two guys because you got to overpay, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm
thinking about Mazda trying to play left field every single day again. That'd be a treat. Some of us would enjoy that. Me being someone.
It'd be something, but I think it's crazy that at this point you have to overpay for that type of talent. What was the Crochet deal that they didn't do? Didn't they want Roman Anthony? Yeah, but then you waited till the off season, and then it went down by quite a bit. Yeah, and I wonder if in the off season that's when you can move some guys for Ryan. Because they're right on the doorstep. They're a playoff team right now. They're on the edge. If things go their way, they could, be one of those top wild card teams. If they don't, they're going to miss it by a little bit. I don't think they're like, one of these dog shit teams. But then I see like the Astros and the Tigers are like the best team in the American League, and I'm like, really? And then the run differential from the fucking Blue Jays. It's like, is this real life? Isn't it like plus 17 or something crazy?
The Jays, I think it's gone up in this hot stretch because it's not like they were winning a bunch of one-run games. Like they were beating the daylights out of some opponents.
Okay.
Especially Justin Verlander, which, by the way, that umpire shit talking him.
It's 42.
Hilarious.
It's 42. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right.
People were giving the umpire shit, and like, fair enough. Like, that's very disrespectful and unprofessional, but like, that was fucking hilarious too. Like, worry about getting out of the third inning. That is so funny. Like, let's have a sense of humor, Ben Verlander. Like, please. Justin Verlander's going to the Hall of Fame. He can take, and he's like an ass to umps. Like, he's always been an ass to umps. Like, let one get their lick back one time, please. Like, that's the only time you'll ever hear me lick boots of an umpire. But that was hilarious. But I've kind of talked myself into like the sicko mode trade with the Atlanta Braves that involves Buehler getting and Spencer Strider comes to Boston. Like, I've kind of like I've really like fire up MLB The Show, see if that works value wise. But like, that would be sick. I would love that. I don't know what kind of year Spencer Strider's having. I know he had like that one start where it like really looked like he might be headed back to the injured list.
They're awful this year though, huh? The Braves. I mean,
the Braves are so bad. I mean, Strider's having an okay year. He's only made 13 starts. Like, the K's are in a good spot. The Velo's down.
Is he your Zach Gallen on the Braves? Is he your Zach Gallen? He's like,
he's better than Zach.
He's a Boston.
No, he was good
at one time.
He's still way better than Zach Allen. But like, I've kind of talked myself into that like sicko mode trade of the Red Sox ending up with Spencer Strider and Buehler going to Atlanta, because I still think there's a trade out there that's going to happen that we're like, whoa. I just don't buy that Eugenio Suarez is going to be the best player traded on Thursday. I just don't buy that.
Yeah. You don't see Sale and Murphy coming to Boston for Duran,
No. No, I don't. Although it would make more sense positionally, but I really am starting to think that there's like Acuna won't get traded. I think there's a real shot that he leaves in free agency, though. Was he like 2 years left on his deal? So, and you're not going to trade for Acuna. Again, the Braves will not trade him. Like, out of principle, they will be like, you're going to deal with being 3 years after this year.
Yeah.
After this year. Wow. All right.
Yeah. He's a free agent after 28.
Wow.
That changes my brain a little bit. I was thinking 27, but still, I don't think they'll
Jordan,
trade him.
what did you guys think of the Sean McAdam thing that happened, but apparently got shot down? He heard that the whole Duran thing with Dylan Cease, and then was it Tyler Milliken and like 3 other people that I saw on Twitter were like, no, that never happened. So they're like, where did he get that source from? Where I think, wasn't there something else, I think, early in the season where there was like we thought this happened, but it didn't. So there's a lot of, there's some people are dropping some rumors that aren't true in the media, which is kind of interesting,
Speaking of the media.
Yeah.
The Royals just extended Seth Lugo.
Oh, good for him.
Wow.
This deadline's going to suck, dude. It's going to be so fucking bad.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Oh, well.
Man.
Well, the Royals are weirdly buying because they just got Grichuk.
Oh, that's true.
Like, maybe they think they can get hot or something. I don't know.
They think they're going to be the 2025 version of the Tigers from last year, which, by the way, the Tigers, boy, they have fallen off a cliff. They're still 15 over 500 with an 8-game lead in the division, but like, they have been bad. Well, they've lost like 11 of their last 13. They won today. They beat the Blue Jays, but yikes, that's nuts. But yeah, no, to answer your question from before, Brian, yeah, I thought that was weird. Like, there was all that circulation on that report for like a day or two, and then suddenly that never happened.
Right.
I don't think that's true. I think it happened. Like, I think it happened. I don't. is this Preller like getting sensitive in his old age? I don't even know how old he is. He's probably like 40, but he looks like he's 70. Stresses of the job kicking in. But is he just mad that like something went public about a trade he offered? Like I don't know, but I think it was offered. Why like what's the like again 2 days it took for that to get shot down? That happened. That definitely happened. And that is the source for me is the voices in my head. That definitely happened.
The most reliable, yeah.
So, yeah. Sometimes. Sometimes. The times it's not is when it tells me to do 9 beers in 9 innings in San Francisco and I'm by myself. And that was
But do you guys think if they grab a pitcher, it's going to be like a middle guy? It's not going to be like a guy we really want, just like to augment, just to kind of take the Dick Fitz role or the
Spencer Strider.
Yeah, but like, do you like? I brought him up in the group chat. The guy Abbott from Cincinnati, he's having a great year. And then I looked at some of the guys on the Pirates, and like like a guy like Keller, it's like he's 4-10, but then if you look at the numbers, it's like he's not bad because he's on the Pirates. That's why he's 4-10.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, well, why the fuck would they want that guy? Like, oh, wait a minute.
5-8, so that tells you all you need to know about being a Pirate.
So, but yeah, there's guys in the Reds, there's guys in the Pirates, the teams that are out of it, and then obviously you look at a team like the Braves, and you're like, well, yeah, their season's over.
Yeah, I don't. As far as the pitching goes, I really don't know.
I don't either.
Would you rather them have a first baseman so that like there's not a runner on like second and third with 2 outs, and then Toro gets up, and you're like, all right, fuck this.
Honestly, kinda.
Yeah.
Like for me, like if there's no real like front of the line rotation arms that are going to get moved, and again, I think that there's a possibility that like quietly there's going to be a starting pitching acquisition that's like whoa, and it won't be Joe Ryan. I really don't think the Twins are going to trade him. Period. I think they'll try to work towards an extension with him in the offseason. But if it's like if I have to choose between getting a first baseman and like Zach Gallen, and I was the one saying to trade for Zach Gallen. I'm picking a first baseman.
Yeah,
I would rather have Yandy Diaz than Zach Gallen for sure.
No, Jack, why do you like O'Hearn better? Just because of the long-term implications, like Jordan said earlier? Is that why?
That factors into it. I like that he's a lefty just because of the roster construction stuff and the fact that like even though Yandy has reverse splits this year, he generally is a guy who is a right-handed hitter who goes after lefties, which makes him a little redundant with Romy. I know Romy could play some second with him and you can move guys around, but I feel like ideally you're trying to get a left-handed first baseman. He's also one of the best defensive first basemen in the league, and he's just a savant. Like Baseball Savant loves him. If you go to his Baseball Savant page, he's read in like every category. He's kind of cooled off a little since his like super hot starts of the year, but all the advanced numbers look good on him. So I think just due to the combination of everything and the fact that he'll probably cost a little less because he's a pure rental versus Yandy has the team control and for a pretty reasonable salary, I'd rather just go after O'Hearn and sort this all out later, especially because Christian Campbell at first base is also a thing that could happen that I'm not ruling out going into next year, especially with Casas and Campbell being existing question marks, but that could factor into that position. I'm okay not locking that in right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good problem to have. I mean, if Casas makes a full recovery, then you're running out of places to put Campbell because, I mean, Story isn't, a corpse anymore. He's actually pretty good. He's doing that. They call it the Trevor Story play now when you hit the ball and throw on the run. It's not the Jeter play.
Good. Finally, we give it to a good defender. Finally.
Yeah. So, speaking of guys who are overrated, I'm a hater just because I hate all things Yankees. First ballot Hall of Famer, CC Sabathia. Like really? Like I know he's like he had 3,000 strikeouts, and he's a fat guy, so I like fat guys. Like I have no problem with that. He had some alcohol issues, got his shit together, lost 100 pounds, and he said, I suck because I'm thin and bulked up again. Like any guy should. You should. There's nothing wrong with being a large mammal. It's okay. But I just first ballot Hall of Famer. I was like, really? But then I realized that after he left Major League Baseball, he became the personal assistant of Rob Manfred, and I'm like, I wonder if that had anything to do with it. It's kind of like when Harold Baines got in because Jerry Reinsdorf was on the Veterans Committee, the president of the Veterans Committee, and he got in, and I'm like, But I saw, Sabathia play. I know you guys did too, probably like later in his career.
Yeah.
And that just really kind of caught me off guard. First ballot Hall of Famer. I'm like, he was like Hall of like really good, but fame. I'm like,
I don't know. I think CC was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
really?
I do too.
Well,
I think it's just hard because like pitching numbers are so different than what they were, and like you have to adjust now for era and adjust for
Right, but he pitched in an era where the numbers were better and bigger. He didn't pitch like 2 years ago, like a year ago.
Well, sure, but even so, though, like the 300 wins, that sort of thing, that's off the table, and that sort of thing.
Now, but guys in his era, I mean, who pitched when he was really good, the guys had done that. It was a thing. Like I'm looking at his numbers and like a guy who doesn't have 300 wins, who barely has 3,000 strikeouts. That's like you got to be Pedro to me. You got to be, it's going to be like to have like a short. He played 19 seasons. His WAR is 62. I'm like, okay, like is Mike Messina a better pitcher than him? Maybe on paper he is. Like I'm just kind of I don't know. He just never he had that little block of 3 or 4 years where he won the Cy Young and I think he was like in the top 5 like 3 or 4 years. But then other than that, like the last 5 years of career, he was not great. He had that one good year and then a bunch of shit years. So, I don't know. Ichiro should have made it, and Wagner to me was lights out as a closer. He was great. He had that one season with the Red Sox, which nobody remembers.
I remember it vividly.
Yeah, he was nasty, wasn't he? Oh my god,
he was so good for the Sox in 2009, and then the playoffs he decided to not be, which was great for that team. That team was stacked. I cannot believe they got swept out.
Right, yeah. But I don't know, whatever. But just thought I'd ask you guys about it.
Yeah, no, so for me with CC, that was one of those players that even like that was like outside of the rivalry, like I had the utmost respect for CC, like him.
Oh yeah, I didn't have a problem with him personally, other than the fact that he played for the Yankees. So fuck him. But other than that, I mean, it's just kind of like. But he was on those Cleveland teams when like Cleveland was decent for a minute.
Yeah.
And then he was like a mercenary. He did that David Price thing where he pitches for like 3 different teams in 2 years. And I was like, all right, you're the man. I get it. But I don't know.
I think for me, I think there's different kinds of accumulation when it comes to counting stats. Like Omar Vizquel getting like 2,800 hits, but he spent like 800 years in the league, and was just genuinely like not a very valuable hitter for all. But I think 3 years he was an above average hitter, in his career. So he played a lot of games to get to 2,800 hits or whatever his number was. Like Johnny Damon got to like 2,700 hits. I would not consider Johnny Damon a Hall of Famer. I think his case is probably better than the voting would suggest it was, but I wouldn't put Johnny Damon in the Hall of Fame. CC, I mean, 3,000 strikeouts is just so damn impressive.
Yep.
Like I don't care how many innings you throw. I mean, I guess if you threw like 50,000 innings or not 50,000, 5,000 innings, he hit 3,000 Ks. Like, okay, like let's be serious here, but no, I mean, that run he had in Milwaukee, like when I think of Hall of Famers, like I look at their numbers for starters, like that makes or breaks the case. But if you're like kind of on the fence about a guy, I try to think of like moments, and like CC Sabathia had several in his career where he was just, and not all of them were him pitching. Like he hit that home run when he played for Cleveland. But that run with Milwaukee was like one of the best runs by a lefty pitcher ever, definitely in my lifetime. Him constantly being like one of the best teammates in the league helps. He was always super personable. The media loved him. Being a Yankee for a long time helped.
He was 10-7 in the postseason. His ERA was over 4. He wasn't like this lights out guy in the playoffs.
Sox kind of ate him alive too, which I thought was great, which made it easier to like him because it was like free wins. Like if betting was legal, and I mean, it wouldn't have been for me anyway. I was 10, but I would like CC would have made me bank just betting like the over or Red Sox money line on days he started. But I think for him too, like getting to 3,000 Ks was super important. But if you had chopped his career off at like 2015. Or we'll say 2017, because 2015 was that year after he got hurt and he was really bad. But after 2017, he had a 3.69 ERA that year, was really solid for the Yankees. Now he had a good year in 2018 as well. But if you just ended his career after 2017, I feel like we're talking about his Hall of Fame case as even more of a slam dunk. Like it just ended so poorly for him that it left a little bit of question, but I still think he was
He wouldn't have
surefire.
3,000 strikeouts if he did, because he's
No.
just over. Yeah.
No, he wouldn't have, but I think like I feel like we remember CC so much more for like how the end of his career was.
Right.
And it did not end very well for him, especially the fashion in which it ended. But I think that was actually super impactful too. Like he literally pitched until he couldn't anymore. I thought that was sick. Like it brought tears to my eyes, and I was a 19-year-old who would have given nothing more than to watch the Yankees suffer. That hurt me watching CC walk off the mound like that, knowing that was the end of his career.
But the other class, I mean, I talked about Wagner earlier, but like Ichiro, no brainer, right?
Yeah.
Like
It's really
I don't
hater.
think there's anybody like he's a 99.9%. Like, you know, didn't they do that again this year? Didn't one guy leave him off the
Yeah,
boat?
one person left him off.
Yeah, what an asshole.
But like Mariano Rivera, you know, oh yeah, you know, definitely. And I'm like, doesn't Ichiro have something like 5,000 hits career, like in professional games, some stupid number? Yeah, which is like, come on.
And I'm the one that people give shit to for being like an Ichiro hater, because I'm like, he was a good, like really good hitter for a long time, but like best hitter ever. He's the best at maybe getting hits, but I don't think that makes you the best hitter. But anyone who didn't vote, like the one person who didn't vote for Ichiro, take their vote away. Don't belong with it.
Get the electric chair.
Yeah,
You should.
I wasn't gonna go there, but since you did, I'll agree with you.
Waterboarding, whatever you want to do. Yeah, it's just not right.
Picture the worst torture, multiply it by 10, boom. And then
Guy.
add 5, and then that guy.
You have to listen to Sweet Caroline on repeat every inning.
Right after a 5-run top of the 8th.
Exactly. Yeah. After
Sweet Caroline today hit different. That was a special version of Sweet Caroline. We haven't talked about Game 3 at all. I'm like jonesing for it. It's the game I went to.
Bring it. Let's get it. Set it up.
Yeah, so Sox win Game 2, 4-2. Chapman strikes out Mookie Betts, who, by the way, hope he's doing all right. I know that I know I cracked a joke in the group chat about him leaving or not being there Friday for personal reasons. I said he was ducking the Sox. Obviously, he had no idea what was going on. I hope he's doing all right. The loss of his stepfather, that absolutely sucks. Heart goes out to Mookie and his family. But yeah, Chapman striking out Mookie to end the game. I was terrified that at bat. That was going to somehow tie the game. Mookie's been terrible this year. That would have been like twisting the knife a little bit.
When good guys are having a tough time, that's tough, because it's just like you look at his stats this year and you're like, yikes. I mean, I hope that there's not more to it, you know, because if he's not at his peak level, baseball's different to watch.
Yeah, it's not as fun. Baseball's better when Mookie is dominating the game.
Right.
It's
right.
not more fun for me on Twitter because I get to read about how well Mookie's doing, but baseball objectively more fun when he's doing well.
Right.
But yeah, Game 3, Walker Buehler against Dustin May. Buehler, he sucks. Like that Philly start. You want to talk about the miragest of mirages? That guy, it was good enough to not be double agent like watch, but like 5 walks, gave a home run to 2025 Michael Conforto. He did strike out 4 guys. He got 3 whiffs on Teoscar Hernandez in the first inning, which I laughed. That was the last time I laughed in like in a happy manner the rest of the Buehler start. But
why did he come out for the 5th? Like, was Cora just like, well, all right. I mean, we're gonna DFA you tomorrow anyway, so like, go pitch. Like, it's like that's what it felt like. It's like, what is he doing?
I guess to try. I mean, it was the bottom of the order. I think they'd already. It was Conforto again, right?
Yeah,
or Pajes or somebody. Like he got 2 outs, and then they took him out for. I think Freeman might have let off. Yeah, Freeman let off, then Pajes, and then when Conforto came up because he was taking him to the woodshed all day, they brought in Bernardino, and then promptly Conforto doubled because today was just his day.
Yeah.
Kid behind me, like an 8-year-old kid, Mets fan. Everybody who made a play was Michael Conforto today. I'm not even kidding. Like Andy Paz caught a routine fly ball, and it's like, what a play by Michael Conforto. And I'm like, kid, I don't want to go to jail today. Please, let's shut up.
What was the guy? I think he still works for the Red Sox. Was it Mike Brantley's kid? He was like the bullpen catcher, but he looked like, oh God, what the hell was the guy's name? The Red Sox had a relief pitcher who also had like long hair and like a mustache, and they looked identical. And
Robbie
everybody
Ross
would,
Jr.
yeah, everybody say, Bobby, give me ball, and like they yell at the kid in every single game. Because when I used to watch the guys warm up in the bullpen, he'd turn around, I'm not Bobby Ross, or I'm not Robbie Ross. But he had to say it like every game because people just thought he was because he looked like him. It's hilarious every time.
He did look like him.
Well, yeah, but I like every single game, the poor
Yeah.
guy, he's like, oh my God, okay, I'm not him.
At a certain point, I would just start being Robbie Ross.
I would sign autographs that said Robbie Ross, if I was him. I just to do it. I would have done it.
Yeah, just really confuse some people. They're like, that's not Robbie Ross. No, but some people just start yelling names of players, which I always find so funny. Like I'll go to the players lot. There was somebody who yelled Rob Refsnyder, and it was like a white dude. I'm like, it's just not even close.
Did
Like,
you
it's
guys
just
do
not-
ugly? Did you guys do ugly goalie and stuff when you were in high school? Like all the high
What's
school
that?
chants. Like if somebody made something like make a play, like if a goalie got lit up, like at a hockey game.
Yeah,
Like
at
ugly goal.
BU they did that.
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah.
BU hockey games are the best.
Well, they don't have baseball or football. They got to cheer about something.
Exactly. At least it's the only place in Boston where number 11 Irving jersey hangs from the rafters.
As it should.
I don't want to go there. I don't want to start talking about Kyrie. Anyway, you get into the middle innings of the game. I thought it was a minor miracle. Buehler only gave up 3 through 4 2/3. Obviously, Bernardino got out of the jam. Then you get to the bottom of the 5th inning. Roman Anthony triple off the left field wall was pretty sick. Showed Roman Gonzalez how it's done. Is he okay? I'm serious. Like the trainer came out to see him. Then later in the game, he like legged out a fielder's choice, but he was like kind of running kind of gingerly after that too. Was there any updates on Roman after the game?
No.
Maybe I was just scared after the first time the trainers went out, but
No, all I saw were all the posts just being like he misses Marcelo and wants to sit next to him in the dugout. So
he's still trying to find Marcelo's car somewhere in Worcester.
But yeah, RBI triple for him, and then after the trainers came out to see him, first pitch to Alex Bregman got absolutely mollywopped into left field. Dustin May gave us an all-time reaction of like folding himself in half backwards as that sailed on the Lansdowne. Again, Obi, take a bow. You've been on your shit lately. That was a great call. The actual like video that was dropped, I'm like, I didn't even realize how loud it was at Fenway until watching the playback of the Bregman home run. I'm like, it got loud for that. It was sick. And it was the last run scored of the entire game. So, Chapman exited with a tight back. So Jordan Hicks got a 5-out save. That's pretty sick.
Ooh, that was Pepto Bismol. That was Heathcliff Slocum. That was not good. That was I oh wow, yeah. All right. So I listened to the game on the radio. Did he throw every single like 3 of his warm-up pitches didn't even like they were at the backstop? Was that accurate? Fleming was like, oh my God, like this, like he didn't throw one breaking pitch in his warm-ups at all. And then it was well, you were there, Jordan. I mean, you said you weren't half in the bag. I believe you, but I mean, was like like when that happens, you're like you're shitting your pants, right?
I actually didn't watch his warm up at all because I'm like Chapman came in. I was terrified because I'm like, this is the game.
Yeah.
You got Rojas, who again had like a ridiculous game. They reached base, I think, all 4 times he came up.
Right.
Betts and Ohtani. I'm like, you get through this inning, it's over. Like game over. So I didn't watch any of his warm-ups because I was too busy freaking out that Shohei was due up in the inning in a 1-run game.
Right.
I'm like, the only way to beat Aroldis Chapman is through walks and home runs because he just doesn't give up hits.
Right.
And then he walks Miguel Rojas on 4 pitches plus a pitch clock violation. And then walked Mookie on 5 pitches as well. and then got Ohtani. By the way, Ohtani like backlegged that lazy fly ball to left. I thought I was gonna die when I saw him like stand there at home plate for a sec. I'm like, did he just hit one onto Lansdowne Oppo? Like, obviously didn't make the wall. But then Jordan Hicks came in and like half his warmups were dog shit too, though.
Right.
Like I was more worried about Hicks than I was about Chapman throwing 93.
Yeah, they said that. I'm like 93. I'm like, yeah, his arm is done. And then so did he? They said he puked in the clubhouse or something. Who was it? Roman Anthony said that I guess he got sick because they did the post game interview on EEI. And he's like, yeah, he must have had something. I don't know. And then they said back spasms. And then Cora said that it's only going to be a couple days. So
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been that sick that I've like violently thrown up. TMI. Like I would imagine that could wrench your back a bit, especially if it's like unexpectedly. I don't know, but he was apparently like doing it in the bullpen too. I don't know. He's always kind of looking like he's in pain, which scares me. Like Kenley always looked like he was in pain too, but Kenley
Because
also
they're all
threw-
old.
Yeah, it's true.
who was the guy that used to puke all the time? Oh, what was that movie there? The football movie there, where Jamie Foxx is the quarterback. He would like vomit every game. Any given Sunday. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Yeah, oh yeah. If you want to watch like what the NFL is like behind the scenes, it's hilarious. They're like, faking MRIs, and a guy doesn't really have a concussion because you own part of the team, and oh yeah, it's some dirty shit. It's like Blue Chips, but like pro level.
Oh, okay. I've seen Blue Chips. Yeah,
it's like
that's the movie with Shaq,
Lawrence
right?
Taylor. Yeah, Lawrence Taylor's in the movie. It's actually a pretty good movie. Oliver Stone directed it. It's a good flick. James Woods is the medical director, and he's like shitty as fuck. It's awesome. But anyway, it's a kind of thing where it's like he's been perfect the whole season, and then Jordan, you're right. You're like, this is it. He's falling apart. And then who's your closer then? Winkowski? No,
Jordan Hicks.
Yeah,
If Josh Winkowski comes back, oh my god,
he could, But you're like Hicks. Yeah, he's throwing 102, but then in the ninth inning, he's throwing these great sliders. Like he figured it out somehow. I don't know how he did it, but he did.
Yeah, he. I mean, without the help of the play from Cedar Rafaela, would have been. Who knows how he would have done against Freeman in that spot with 2 outs, but. Okay. So obviously we're all in agreement that Cedar second base is not something that should be long term, even for this year. Like if we have to deal with it for like the next couple of weeks, fine. But come August, come the Jimmy Fun telethon, Cedar Rafaela should probably never play second base again unless it's an emergency.
Yeah.
That play is exactly why he should play second base. You think Vaughn Grissom's going to get Hai-Sung Kim there at second base? Probably not. David Hamilton probably would have dropped the ball.
Where did he come from, Kim? I don't even know. He wasn't on my radar, but he struck out 4 times on Friday.
Korea.
Like his swing mechanics are so fucked up. Like he swings all up the body. Like how does he hit?
Well, so Joe Davis mentioned on the broadcast last night that he like hurt his shoulder a couple weeks ago.
He doesn't look
really favoring his left shoulder. Yeah, his left shoulder.
He should go in the DL because like he can't connect at all. There's no power there, even if he touches the ball.
Well, the thing is, Joe Davis also mentioned this, and the rare time it's nice to have the local broadcaster commentating on the national broadcast.
Okay.
Because he's obviously with the Dodgers every single day.
Yep.
They've wanted to move him to the IL, but like with Mookie's struggles, plus obviously him being away from the team, it's kind of difficult to kind of facilitate that. I think they've also had some other injuries that have kind of kept. I mean, they have a ton of injuries, mostly their pitching staff, but
right.
I mean, who do they play? And he had good at bats against Crochet. He had 2 hits against him, but yeah.
It just looks like disconnected. Like he's definitely hurt. You're right.
Yeah, he's banged up. His shoulder's messed up, but yeah, I don't like that's like the one like for all the times people are like Jarren Duran should not play center field. It should be Cedar because if that ball's hit there, Cedar gets to it and Jarren doesn't. There's no there's other than Marcelo, who's obviously hurt. There's no other person probably in the Red Sox organization that plays second base. I mean, Trevor Story maybe, that makes him play.
It's too bad Duran can't play second base anymore.
I don't know why they didn't try that.
Yeah. I mean, he did
Like,
that all through college. He did it in the minors. And I don't think they moved him to the outfield till like Double A, I think.
I think it was 2019. So that sounds right. Double A.
I mean, and it's old man baseball to be like, oh, he's fast center field. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it worked.
Oh, I know. It's still, for the life of me, I can't figure out how, statistically he was amazing last year as a center fielder. And now he's like, is he average? I mean, I think we tracked it a couple podcasts ago where he was like outs above replacement. He wasn't negative. Maybe he was, but he was like right in the middle. Where he was
in left.
Yeah.
Let's see if Fangraphs wants to cooperate with me. Okay, there we go. We're back. Give me a sec. He is in center field, he's at 1 out above average in 73 innings. In left field, he's at -4.
Wow.
Last year in center field, he was +7 outs above average, 17 defensive runs saved in center. But he was also good in left last year. So I don't get he had 6 defensive runs saved and 3 outs above average in left field last year.
Yeah. Okay.
He's just a worse defender this year. So I don't.
Oh well.
I don't get the excuse there, but I do wonder why they were willing to, not to bring up Devers again. They were willing to completely tank their relationship with the highest paid player and longest tenured Red Sox,
right?
Because he wouldn't play first base,
right?
But there's been not a peep of why can't Jarren Duran play second base because your best defensive outfield is Roman, Cedon, Buehler.
You say it, Jack. It's okay. He's not a team player. You can say it.
Well, but he hasn't been asked. Media hasn't asked.
Well, he hasn't asked because he doesn't want to upset the other veterans in the clubhouse. Like that. Oh wait.
Yeah, true. He doesn't want to upset Cedon Rafaela, who doesn't want to play second base.
Yeah. Trevor Story's like, hey, are you trying to show me up?
Show me up by playing second.
Something
I would think Jarren would love to play second base because him and he's like one of the biggest Trevor Story fans on the planet. You'd think he'd want to be closer to Trev.
Can you imagine trying to break up a double play when Jarren Duran's there with his fucking arms out, just kind of like flexing, like the only man who can stop him is Yoshida. I mean, he basically speared Yoshida, and Yoshida survived somehow.
I can't believe Massa didn't even go down. He wouldn't have even been down by contact in the NFL. He got smoked by Ed Reed over the middle.
He did do fair catch, but Jarren didn't see it.
No.
Massa at second? Is that something worth thinking about?
Connor Wong?
Connor Wong has played second base before for the Red Sox.
He has.
Yeah.
That is true. Oh my God, that's true.
He's no Euclid at second base, but he's good.
Remember when Christian Vasquez played second base?
That was like next level. Like, you just fucking with me now.
Remember that inning a couple years ago? Devers played shortstop.
I was at that game.
Were you guys at the game? Were you guys at the game when they put Mookie at second base for like 3 innings, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what are you doing? He can't do that."
And now he did that in the minors regularly. He plays the infield regularly, which I think is funny too, because I'm not disagreeing with you guys about Cedon in center field, but Mookie was one of the best defensive right fielders in the sport. Maybe not so much towards the end of his time out there, but then he moved to the infield. So but I mean, they had Jason Hayward. So
anybody will tell you, Jordan. I mean, these guys, if they know they're going to play the same position all the time, it's just easier mentally. When you don't know where you're going, it's not little league where it's like, okay, where am I going to play today?
Yeah, you're just happy to be in the lineup.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I wonder why the Duran to second base thing never, I thought it was a stupid thing that was brought up on Twitter. People were like, Jarren should play second base. I'm like, no, he shouldn't. And then now that Cedon's doing it semi-regularly, I'm like, well, why was that never a question? Even if it was dismissed, why was that never a question? I guess maybe they are trying to trade him and they don't want him to make an ass of himself at second base, but
we got 4 days left. Is he on the team or not next week?
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. What do you think, Jack? Uh-oh.
I lean towards yes. I think they are just going to hold on to everyone and they're going to sort it out. It is just awkward. There are too many cooks in the kitchen at the moment, but also you shouldn't trade someone for the sake of trading someone. I think this might be a sorted out in the offseason thing. They're not going to go into next year with all these guys, though. It's just not happening.
Do you think there's any shot that they? Because I know Jay Stu tweeted about people calling about Sadon.
No,
You don't think there's any shot in hell they trade him?
no.
I would tend to agree, but I was curious if either of you thought differently.
No way. No, I think in the off season you pay the market rate, which is a lot cheaper than it is now, and that's when you're making moves. I think you just ride it. I think Marcelo being hurt, like I said, the Red Sox just fucking walked into dog shit, and it turned out great for him. They're like, oh yeah, no, this is no. I think if he was healthy, it would have been a little more complicated, especially if he was hitting a little better. Like I didn't realize how good Roman has hit now statistically since like that first month or whatever, but he's something like 8th in the league, like an OPS or something crazy, like from like a certain standpoint. He's really, really turned it around offensively. The power quite isn't what I thought it would be, but all his other metrics are just about where they should be.
Yeah, I mean he's got a 385 on base. His OPS is over 800 now.
Not bad. He's no Nick Kurtz, who's just superhuman. Like holy shit.
Yeah, 4 home runs.
Wow.
6 for 6.
I thought somebody was joking when they told me that he hit a 4th one. I didn't realize a position player was in the game, but still, you gotta hit over the fence.
Do they call it the Brock Holt? Is that what that?
Yeah, it's the first 4 homer game with an asterisk.
Yeah,
because it's a position player.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I mean Roman. Like the home runs haven't been there yet, but I mean he's still got 12 doubles and a triple. So like, sorry, 13 doubles in a triple. So
I don't know what the hell ESPN was saying because I posted it in the group. Anthony tripled to the shortstop. That's what ESPN has on the scoring. If you go to
because Conforto misplayed the ball and then it was fielded by
is
by
that how
Mookie.
they okay?
Yeah. Mookie fielded it like basically medium depth left field because Conforto looked like a dumbass.
Yep. Okay.
I just saw the Seth Lugo thing again. I'm like, why? Just why? That's so bizarre. Everybody I've seen that's sent that tweet in a respective group chats, like, yeah, that makes no fucking sense, but sure. But yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, so this is the last podcast that the 3 of us, are going to be doing until after the trade deadline passes. So I guess to kind of wrap it up, curious what we think, or if there's one specific player that we would like the Red Sox to trade for. Like I saw that Edward Cabrera is apparently like really on the Sox radar. The Cubs and the Red Sox really like him.
The
prophecy's being fulfilled. I know Coley's trying to manifest Mark Vientos. He just really wants Jarren Duran traded. I think it's starting to become personal. Like he's starting to attack. Like the take is starting to matter more than the actual roster construction. Like why would the Red Sox trade him for Mark Vientos?
We couldn't get Mark Vientos for JD, and it's the prophecy.
Yeah, now we're trading a different JD for Mark Vientos. But curious how busy do we think the Red Sox are going to be in 4 days? Hopefully pretty busy because Derek and I are doing a stream, so I would like to not be bored for 6-7 hours. Brian, what do you think the Sox are going to do on Thursday?
I think they're going to get another bullpen arm. Kind of guy that maybe we're not paying attention to, but a guy that's going to, maybe give some of these other guys a rest. And then I think probably O'Hearn from Baltimore. And then I think they're starting pitching. I don't think they're going to make a move just because the going rate for some of these guys, even the average guys, is going to be way more than you should have to give up when you can get them for pennies on the dollar in the offseason. You want a guy who's going to be a free agent at the end of the year, like Jack said, who doesn't roadblock Casas, because maybe Casas comes back, maybe he doesn't. But if he is healthy, and then you've got some guy who has his job, that's going to be a problem. You don't want that.
It would get awkward. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I do want O'Hearn. I think that'll solve a lot of the lineup issues at the moment. I think they're going to maintain all the outfielders. I think they're keeping everyone. I'm torn on the Chapman of it all. If he's hurt, obviously they're going to keep him because you can't trade him if he's hurt. I do think, even though you are in a playoff spot, I do think if a team is willing to get really stupid for Chapman, you have to at least think about it, because it's about, not to, get too Danny Ainge-pilled, but, you do need to accumulate assets. And like we saw that Aroldis Chapman was traded for Cole Reagans a couple of years ago. And it's like, if you could get a Cole Reagans out of Aroldis Chapman right now, I would like that. No saying you can, but if someone will trade a guy like that, you have to at least think about it. And then in terms of starting pitching, we don't really know what the market rate is at the moment. No real starters have been dealt. If you can get, ideally, if a guy like Keller or Abbott or Jose Soriano is an actual thing who's controllable and good, and you can do it without severely overpaying, I'm all for it. Beyond that, though, like, I do think you just need to injury-proof this rotation. I'm concerned that the depth isn't there at the moment. I think you need to just get a guy to fill innings so that if someone goes down, you're not screwed. I wonder what the Merrill Kelly price is, because I think Merrill Kelly is actually good at baseball as a rental. And beyond that, yeah, the options are not very inspiring. You might have to get creative and trust that the pitching lab will do its thing. But I do think you need to add one more starter. And even if it's a guy who you don't love, it just injury proofs you, because there's so many goddamn pitching injuries nowadays.
Yep.
Yeah, I think too, like, I to a degree, I keep forgetting that Kyle Harrison is part of the Red Sox organization. I know he just pitched the other day and had like a pretty good start.
Yeah.
But like that's their only real depth in the minor leagues as far
Because
as
they said Sandoval's not happening. They shut the door on that. So that's not a reinforcement you can get.
just I'm good on Robert Stock. Don't really need to see him pitch at the major league level again in any capacity, but much less as a starter. Obviously lost Brayan Bello to the Reds earlier in the year. So yeah, I mean, there really isn't a whole lot of depth unless you want to completely jump AAA with, Sandlin, Early, or Tolley, and I don't think that's wise. Maybe Tolley as a reliever, but like again, we're talking about starting pitching. For me, I think first base is going to happen. I don't know who, but I don't think they're going to roll into post deadline with Toro and Romy Gonzalez. Maybe part of that's manifesting, but I'm also starting to think that Christian Campbell might factor in again at some point. Like he did. I know it was a hanging slider. I know people have to give the caveat to everything Christian Campbell does now because he's not in the majors. You still got to hit it out of the ballpark. But like he's starting to play pretty well. That's a ridiculous question for Seth Lugo. Like, why are the Royals doing this? Which also that fucks the market a little bit more for rental starting pitching because Seth Lugo's no longer part of it. So, but yeah, no, I hear you on the starting pitching front. I just don't know. It's so tough to pinpoint who's out there because, like, even like the Marlins with Edward Cabrera, like, what are the Marlins going to ask for? Are they a team that you're comfortable? Like, would you trade Jarren Duran for Edward Cabrera? I wouldn't. I don't think I would. Maybe if I've had a couple cocktails or something. But like, I don't know. The Marlins are better than people thought, so maybe they're closer to contention than people thought, and that's with Sandy being butt cheeks. So like a good Sandy in 2026, a couple nice moves in the offseason with that current rotation, like they might be a fringe wildcard team next year. I don't know if they want to get worse in the rotation to do that. And then yeah, like Mitch Keller doesn't really make a move, but that would be cool, I guess. So it's so tough. The pitching market sucks, which is why I think that the out of left field, like that guy was available, is going to be a starter. Like there's been a lot of talk around Joe Ryan, but I don't think he gets moved. I think it'll truly come out of left field, and it'll be like I'm hoping it's Spencer Strider to Boston because I would love that dude with the Red Sox, but I mean it would have been cool to get like Spencer Schwellenbach, but I think he's out for like the rest of the year pretty much. So and like Chris Sale would be a fun reunion, but I think me just saying that just ended his season.
There went the other rib.
The rest
go bike riding with him.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's tough. I think first base gets solved. I think they get another reliever. As far as starting pitching goes, I think they should acquire just another warm body at worst that costs like Rule 5 eligible guys that you think you might lose. But other than that, I think it is going to be a very disappointing deadline as far as starting pitching is concerned. Like I think people need to temper their expectations and expect it to be a warm body instead of like a number 2, which I still think is a very subjective thing anyway. Like Joe Ryan's not a number 2 starter. He just would be the second best starter of the rotation.
Yeah.
So,
but getting a guy like Evaldi just isn't going to happen, I don't think.
Yeah, because the Rangers are good now. The Rangers are in a playoff spot. They're tied for the third wild card.
If they went in the shitter, that might have been more of a possibility. But then they gave him the All-Star bonus and even didn't make it, which I thought was awesome for him.
Yeah, that rules.
Yeah.
The Rangers owners, they spend money.
Yep,
they definitely don't have a problem handing out coin over there in Texas.
Nope.
And also not even just Evaldi, but it would have been interesting to monitor Jacob deGrom's market if the Rangers were selling, but they'll probably be one of the more active teams anyway because they have a veteran rotation. They probably want to capitalize on that. Like Adolis Garcia was supposed to be like this big deadline, saga, and now it's like, well, they're good. Are they going to trade Adolis Garcia? Probably not.
Right.
But yeah. Any final thoughts?
Hmm.
All right. Again, I'm sorry, boys. I did not mean for us to start super late.
No.
I was thinking 7:30, and naturally it turned into 8:25.
The people who love the fact that you were late the most is my kids because they're still awake. Like, we're not in bed yet. This is awesome.
So you're welcome for that.
Yeah, it's cool.
I aim to please. But yeah, so first 500 episodes in the book for the Pesky Report. This marks the start of the next 500. Kind of crazy that we're at this number. I think we're at like 300-ish when I joined, maybe 350. I don't remember 100%. I'm not, and I don't care really enough to look.
Noticeably better since you've taken over, by the way.
Yeah. Let's say that a little bit louder, just in case somebody's listening.
Yeah, I came in and it was fucking chaos, and then all of a sudden Jordan's whips his nuts on the table and it's like, I'm the boss, and I'm like, you know what, like this is a lot different than I thought it was going to be, but it's a lot better.
Hell yeah! Oh, and right at the gun. Red Sox are promoting pitchers Conley Early and David Sandlin to AAA Worcester. That is per Andrew Parker.
Nice.
So that's good.
Got that in. So
do we got to do Minnesota?
What did Minnesota do?
Well, no, I mean pick the series.
Oh, that's right. That is right. That is a fantastic point. This is why we pay you the big bucks.
That's right.
So all right, yeah, Minnesota. Nice little break in the schedule for the Red Sox. 3-game set in Minneapolis, and naturally I closed the tab again. So we're just not going to give start times. Who cares? You guys care more about the pitching matchups.
That's right.
Game 1. Yeah. Game 1, Richard Fitz on the mound against Simeon Woods Richardson. Game 2, Lucas Giolito against Chris Paddock. Game 3, Brayan Bello against Zebby Matthews. So no Joe Ryan in the series. So that's fun. Love that. It's great news. Another nice little break for the Red Sox. Brian, how do you think the series goes?
Giolito's going to win. I picked up Matthews on the fantasy league today, so of course, he's going to get lit up, which is good. And then Fitz, I don't know, roll the dice on that one, I mean, maybe this is the one where you kind of, the dick does fit, So maybe sweep. I like that, Jordan. You were like frozen and you were like in a different position, and then you came back and then you were on this side of the screen. Like, whoa.
Yeah, my internet cut out for a split second, so I actually have no idea what you said.
So basically I said that I picked Giolito's. I like Giolito for the middle game. I picked up Matthews in the fantasy league, so he's going to get shit on probably. And then this could be the game in the first one where the dick does fit.
All right.
Yeah. I'm not full dick rider yet, but I like the saying.
It is a good saying. It really fits the vibe of the horny Sox as well.
It does. Yeah.
So you got a sweep in this one?
Yeah. I'm ready for a sweep. We're not playing, the best teams in baseball anymore. So I think the offensive Sox, the softball Sox, are going to come back, and we're going to, Rafael is going to go off for hitting 3-run home runs again, like he did against the dirtbag teams we played earlier.
That'd be nice. That'd be a welcome sight.
It'd be really nice.
Great. to start the second half. Jack, how do you think the series goes?
I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna say they win the first two, and then we get, even though he's not been bad in them, but we get the Bello Day game. If they win the first two, I could see a Cora Punts lineup, especially the day before the deadline. So I'm
Which
gonna
is
say
not
I
today
don't.
as well.
Yeah, I don't fear Simeon Woods Richardson one bit. And then Giolito, I know his last start wasn't his best, but he's been really solid as of late. And Chris Paddock is kind of whatever. So I'll go 2-1, win the first two. Punt Wednesday, Connor Wong will be in the lineup.
Yeah, we know for a fact Connor Wong will be playing on Wednesday.
Extra base hit and RBI or 0 for 4?
Oh, if he homers, I'm going to be insufferable. And also to add to the punt lineup portion of that, David Hamilton with Marcelo Meyer not playing. David Hamilton a shoo-in to get at bats in that game 3.
Maybe, but Matthews is left-handed, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Quinn Matthews with the Cardinals. Wrong Matthews prospect.
You don't know Zebby? He's a household name.
Yeah.
Household name for the Twins. Yeah, so my prediction is I think the Red Sox are going to sweep the series. I just, again, not a believer in Simeon Woods Richardson. I think Lucas Giolito kind of finds his bearings earlier in this start against the Twins. I feel like, the first inning's really been the problem for him the last couple times out. Get through the first, and he'll be fine. And then I think the big trade the Red Sox make, I've been saying this the last 3 series, so my track record's not great. After game 2. So the Red Sox will be reporting for duty in game 3 of the series with Yandy Diaz as their first baseman.
Ooh.
Sorry for the dead air, but for people watching, I threw my hands up. Like,
Where are the Rays geographically in order for him to get to Minnesota for a day game?
That's a great question, but
Montreal.
I don't know the answer to it. I don't know the answer to that. Let's see. Scores.
They'll be in New York at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, so they're right there. They're right there.
Go to South Station. We can get the police
I'll
escort.
pick them up.
Yeah.
I need to go to Target Field at some point to cross that ballpark.
And O'Hearn will be home at Camden Yards.
Oh, he's further away.
Fenway South. That's not a bad trip.
Ryan O'Hearn's further away from where the Red Sox will be, so therefore Yandy Diaz first base.
That's how Craig operates.
He's like, what would cost us the least amount in travel money?
$300 for business class from New York to South Station, but if you do JetBlue, it's only $180.
How do you fuck with connecting flights, Ryan O'Hearn? Oh, you do? Well, we'll just bus Yandy Diaz from the Bronx to Minneapolis.
We'll take the Fenway bus.
So yeah, Brayan Bello will get a shiny new toy to play first base for him on Wednesday. Okay. So that's my prediction. So we got 2 sweeps and a 2 out of 3. So naturally the Twins will sweep. Just gotta throw that out there just to cover all tracks. If we ride both sides of the fence, we can never lose. So yeah, before the Royals give out another stupid extension, we should probably wrap this up because I don't want to get sidetracked and see that like, oh, it's actually like a 5-year extension for Seth Lugo, who's like ancient.
Well, no,
now.
Walker's getting a 7-year.
Yeah, true. That's a great point. Michael Walker could be extended any minute now. We got to get out of here before that gets talked about. So yeah, thanks everybody for listening to us, and for Jack, Brian, I'm Jordan. Until next time, peace out and go Sox.